So you've got a PEX project coming up, maybe a bathroom remodel, or you're replacing some old copper lines, and you're standing in the plumbing aisle trying to figure out whether to grab SharkBite push-fit fittings or go with traditional crimp fittings. And honestly, the internet has made this way more confusing than it needs to be. Some guys swear SharkBites will fail in 2 years. Other guys say crimps are outdated and slow. Today I'm going to settle this once and for all. I'm going to show you how to install both types the right way, compare them head to head on cost, speed, and reliability, and give you the honest truth about which one actually lasts. And stick around to the end, because I've got a bonus tip about a third connection method that most homeowners don't even know exists. This is one of those debates that's been going on in the plumbing world for years now, and most of the opinions you hear online come from people who've never installed more than a handful of either one. I've used both methods on hundreds of jobs over 35 years. So let me give you the real story. Let's start with the basics. Before we get into the installs, you need to understand what's actually happening inside each fitting. PEX stands for cross-linked polyethylene. It's flexible tubing that's largely replaced copper in residential plumbing because it's cheaper, easier to work with, and it doesn't corrode. Now there are 2 very different ways to connect this tubing to fittings. SharkBite fittings are push-to-connect. You literally push the PEX tube into the fitting and a stainless steel teeth ring grabs onto the pipe while an O-ring inside creates the watertight seal. No tools required. You push it in, it's done. Crimp fittings work differently. You slide a copper crimp ring over the PEX tube, insert a barbed brass fitting into the tube, then use a crimp tool to compress that copper ring down tight around the outside of the tube. That compression is what locks everything together and creates the seal. The fitting stays because the barbs grip the inside of the pipe, and the crimp ring squeezes everything tight from the outside. 2 completely different approaches. Both are code approved. Both work. But the devil is in the details, so let's get into it. All right, let's talk about what you need for each method. For SharkBite connections, your shopping list is short. You need SharkBite fittings in whatever configuration you're using, whether that's couplings, elbows, T's, or valves. You need a SharkBite depth gauge tool or a simple permanent marker to mark your insertion depth. You need a PEX tubing cutter to get clean, square cuts. And honestly, that's about it. If you ever need to remove one, the SharkBite disconnect clip costs about $2, and it's worth having on hand. For crimp connections, you need more gear. You need brass Crimp PEX fittings in your sizes, typically 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch for residential work. You need copper crimp rings to match those sizes. You need a PEX crimp tool, and make sure you get the right jaw size for your pipe. A 1/2 inch jaw and a 3/4 inch jaw are the 2 most common. You also need a go-no-go gauge, which checks whether your crimps are properly compressed. And of course, the same PEX tubing cutter for clean cuts. The crimp tool is your biggest upfront cost. A decent one runs about $40 to $60. The SharkBite method has almost 0 tool cost, but the fittings themselves are where the price difference shows up. I'll break down the real numbers later. Now let's install a SharkBite fitting so you can see just how simple this is. I'm going to walk you through a basic coupling connecting 2 pieces of 1/2 inch PEX. First, cut your PEX tubing with a proper tubing cutter. This is critical. You need a perfectly square, clean cut. If the cut is angled or has burrs on it, the O-ring inside the SharkBite won't seat properly and you'll get a leak. So take your time here. 1 clean squeeze with a sharp PEX cutter and you should be good. Next, mark your insertion depth. Take your SharkBite depth gauge or just measure 1 inch from the end of your 1/2 inch PEX and make a mark with a permanent marker. For 3/4 inch PEX, you need 1 1/4 inches. This mark is your visual confirmation that the pipe went in far enough. I cannot stress this enough. 90% of SharkBite failures I've seen on jobs are because somebody didn't push the pipe in all the way. That's not the fitting failing. That's user error. Now push the PEX into the SharkBite fitting with a firm, steady push. You'll feel a slight grab as the teeth engage. Keep pushing until your marker line is right at the edge of the fitting. Give it a good tug to make sure it's locked in. It should not pull out. Do the same on the other side, and you've got a connection. The whole thing takes about 30 seconds. One thing I always tell homeowners, make sure you're pushing the pipe in straight, not at an angle. An angled insertion can damage the O-ring or prevent the teeth from grabbing evenly. Straight in, firm push, check your mark. That's the formula. Quick thing before we move on. I have spent 35 years learning these fixes the hard way, and I put the best of what I know into a book called 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes. 122 pages of step-by-step repairs with 17 diagrams that can save you thousands. Scan the QR code on screen or hit the link in the description if you want the full guide. Now back to the fix. All right, now let's do the same connection using the Crimp method. Same scenario, 1/2 inch PEX, basic coupling. Start with the same clean, square cut on your PEX tubing. Just as important here as it was with SharkBite. Any burrs or rough edges can prevent the fitting from seating inside the tube properly. Before you do anything else, slide a copper crimp ring over the end of the PEX tube. I can't tell you how many times I've seen guys, including myself early on, forget this step and have to pull the fitting out and start over. The ring goes on first. Slide it back about 2 inches from the end so it's out of your way for now. Next, push the brass barbed fitting into the end of the PEX. This can take a little effort because those barbs are designed to grip. If you're having trouble, especially in cold weather when PEX gets stiff, try dipping the end of the tube in hot water for a few seconds. That softens it up and makes insertion much easier. Push the fitting in until the tube is fully seated against the shoulder of the fitting. You should see the PEX sitting flush against that little ridge on the brass. Now slide that copper crimp ring forward so it sits about 1/8 to 1/4 inch from the end of the tube. You want it positioned right over the barbed section of the fitting, not hanging off the edge of the tube and not too far back. Grab your crimp tool with the correct 1/2 inch jaw, place it over the ring, and give it one solid squeeze. You'll feel the handles come together firmly. That's your crimp. It should be tight and uniform all the way around. No gaps, no wobble. Here's where the go, no-go gauge comes in. Slide the go side of the gauge over your crimp. It should fit over it. Then try the no-go side. It should not fit. If it does, your crimp is too loose and you need to cut that section off and redo it. Don't skip this step. A loose crimp might hold pressure for a while, but eventually it will seep or fail. The gauge costs about $8 and it takes 2 seconds to check. There's no excuse to skip it. Repeat on the other side and you've got your connection. This one takes a couple of minutes instead of 30 seconds, but once you've done a few, you'll get into a rhythm. Now that both connections are made, you need to test them. Turn your water supply back on slowly, not full blast. You want to let the system pressurize gradually so you can watch for leaks without water spraying everywhere. Check every single connection you made. Run your finger around each fitting and feel for any moisture. For SharkBite fittings, look at the area right where the tube enters the fitting. Any drip there usually means it wasn't pushed in deep enough. For crimp fittings, check around the crimp ring itself and where the tube meets the brass shoulder. I like to lay a piece of paper towel under each connection and walk away for 15 minutes. When I come back, I check the paper towels. A dry towel means a solid connection. Any wet spots tell me exactly where to look. This is an old plumber's trick, and it works every time. Once everything checks out clean, you're good. All right, here's the part you've really been waiting for. Let's put these two head to head and talk honestly. Cost. A 1/2-inch SharkBite coupling runs about $5 to $7 depending on where you buy it. A brass crimp fitting for the same size costs about 75 cents to $1.50, and the copper crimp ring is another 20 to 30 cents. So per connection, crimps are dramatically cheaper. If you're doing a whole house repipe with 60 or 80 connections, that difference adds up fast. You could be looking at $400 in SharkBite fittings versus maybe $120 in crimp fittings and rings. The crimp tool pays for itself after about 10 connections. Speed. SharkBite wins here, no contest. 30 seconds versus 2 to 3 minutes per connection. For a quick repair, a single valve swap, or an emergency fix at 10 o'clock at night, SharkBite is hard to beat. Reliability. This is where it gets interesting. Both are code approved. Both carry 25-year warranties. But here's the truth from my experience. Crimp connections, when done properly, are essentially permanent. That copper ring isn't going anywhere. I've opened up walls on 20-year-old crimp jobs, and they look exactly the same as the day they were installed. SharkBite fittings rely on an O-ring for their seal. O-rings can degrade over time, especially if your water has high mineral content, or if the fitting is exposed to UV light or high temperatures near a water heater. Will a SharkBite last 20 years? Probably. Will a crimp last 20 years? Almost certainly. Where each fitting makes sense. Use SharkBite for accessible locations where you can get to the fitting later if needed. Under sinks, in utility rooms, in unfinished basements, behind access panels. Use crimps for anything going behind drywall, inside walls, under concrete, or anywhere you cannot easily access later. This is the golden rule that every plumber I respect follows. Accessible equals SharkBite is fine. Buried or hidden equals crimp every single time. Let's go over some issues you might run into with both methods. First, a SharkBite that leaks right after installation. 9 times out of 10, the tube wasn't pushed in far enough. Remove the fitting with a disconnect clip, remark your depth, recut the end to make sure it's clean and square, and push it back in all the way. Check your mark. Second, a SharkBite that starts leaking months later. This usually means something is putting lateral stress on the fitting. PEX expands and contracts with temperature changes. If your tubing is pulling sideways on the SharkBite, it can work the teeth loose over time. Use proper PEX support clamps every 32 inches and make sure nothing is tugging on the connection. Third, a crimp that fails the go-no-go gauge. Your crimp tool jaws might be worn or out of calibration. Most crimp tools have an adjustment screw. Check it against the gauge with a test crimp on scrap material before you crimp a live connection. Fourth, PEX. It's hard to push onto crimp fittings in winter. Cold PEX gets stiff. Warm the end with a heat gun on low setting or dip it in hot water. Never use a torch, you'll melt it. Fifth, a slow drip at a crimp connection. The fitting wasn't fully seated inside the tube before crimping. Unfortunately, there's no fix for this other than cutting it out and redoing it. Always visually confirm the tube is pushed all the way to the shoulder before you crimp. Follow the steps we covered, and these issues should be rare. But now you know exactly how to handle them if they come up. All right, here's that bonus tip I promised. There's actually a third PEX connection method called expansion fittings, sometimes branded as Pro PEX or Up-and-Or. Instead of crimping a ring down tight, you use an expansion tool to stretch the end of the PEX tube open, slide the fitting in, and then the tube shrinks back down around the barbs to create the seal. A separate expansion ring reinforces the connection from outside. Why do I mention this? Because expansion fittings are the only method where the fitting bore is the same diameter as the inside of the pipe. Crimp and SharkBite fittings both reduce the inside diameter because the fitting sits inside the tube and takes up space. Expansion fittings don't restrict flow at all. For long runs or high-demand fixtures like a shower with multiple heads, that flow difference matters. The expansion tool runs about $80 to $100 for a manual one, and the fittings are priced between Crimp and SharkBite. If you're doing a big project and want the strongest, most flow-friendly connection available, look into it. Most professional plumbers I know have switched to expansion as their go-to for new construction and whole house repipes. That wraps it up. If this was useful, you will love the full book. 50 step-by-step plumbing fixes with diagrams all in one guide. Link is below. Hit subscribe so you do not miss the next video. Thanks for watching.